Hello, cult members. Welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I am Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is our. Hold on, I have a sign. Dun, 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 dun. This is our spoiler review. Spoilers. Spoiler.
Camera's confused.
Yeah, it's totally messing up the camera. This is our spoiler review of Black Panther. Now, we did a non-spoiler review. Please go watch that if you haven't seen the movie yet. If you have seen the movie and want to watch our thoughts on it, stay here. We're going to get into it. But if you haven't seen the movie, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. Don't watch the rest of this video.
Spoilers.
We're 45 seconds into the video. You've been told.
Spoilers.
A minute into the video, you've been told enough times it's spoilers. Okay, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. That was amazing.
Spoilers.
So what was your... normally we do like overall thoughts, what you like, what we didn't like. We're gonna get what we didn't like out of the way first. That way we can spend the rest of the video talking about how we get to see it in 3D.
Right.
And in 3D, I don't know if it's a 3D technology or whatever, but the CGI it seemed off.
Yeah. And we were talking about it that we haven't really watched a whole lot of movies in 3D recently, so and couldn't remember the last time we saw one that was heavy into CGI. So, but it was noticeable a couple of times.
There was a couple times where stuff was a little bit more blurry than it should have been, or the action scenes were a little bit more jumpy, and I don't know.
Or the background was just very still while everything, and you're like, it's a picture.
It could have been too. We went to a theater with I'm going to say older technology but it's not the Dolby Theater.
Yeah,
it's not the Athos. It's an older theater. So that might have been part of it too. Yep. But over that is like our one main complaint about the whole thing. And really that's not anything about the story or the characters or anything like that. It was just that one thing was the CGI.
Yeah.
Only in 3D. Only in 3D. We're seeing it again on Friday, so we'll see.
Oh yeah. And it's not there's not a whole lot in there that makes it like, oh, I need to see this movie in 3D because I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
There was only like one or two times when stuff kind of came at you that you were like,
the Marvel title card.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing in 3D we've seen so far.
Captain America's shield comes at you and we're like, whoa.
I'm diving across the aisle, So that was so what we're going to talk about now is just the movie spoilers. Okay. This movie was way more. I was super excited about this movie, and I've been vibrating for this movie since the first trailer came out. And she had high expectations too, but I think mine were probably maybe a little bit higher, and it lived up to everything that I wanted it to live up to.
Yeah,
and some more.
Yeah.
And so, what was it like? What was a couple of things that you were really like that you really liked about the movie?
Well, I really liked the technology, they do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
In Wakanda.
The phone. They have this thing in their hand and it pops up in this 3D and they're able to like talk to each other. It's
And the medical stuff, Martin Freeman's character gets shot in the back and they're able to fix him in the matter of a couple hours or whatever. And then all the women were just badasses. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
And just the like kind of the visuals, the bright colors, and then like when they were in, it wasn't New York, was it when they were in South Korea? When it was night.
Yeah.
It was all very like kind of chic and slick and there's just a lot of visuals.
It was a lot of even when they do this big fight inside the mountain where all the vibranium is, and they do this big fight scene. Even in there, once they go in there, it takes away a bunch of the color, but it's like black and purple and some whites, but it's still like really vibrant and it was really, really cool how that all happened. There's a couple of different things that I really loved. The first thing I talked about when we left the theater was I love the melding of the technology and the tradition of the old.
Right.
And that actually is what gets them in trouble. Killmonger comes in. He's the son of somebody from Wakanda, and actually he's T'Challa's cousin. And he comes in and pretty much just like wrecks shop, right? He forces T'Challa into a fight and all this stuff. Well, when he shows up, he has claim to the throne and gives a challenge. And the council of all the tribes follow tradition and go and
let him
challenge.
Yeah.
And even though they know he's not a good guy, he's gonna do things.
He's not from there. He's never been there before.
Right. And so that having to hold on to these traditions, we keep all the technology to ourselves. We don't deal with the outside world. We have all this opportunity to help people in the outside world.
Yeah, because Wakanda's the poorest country in the world or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they're part of Wakanda, but kind of not. They're Rome.
Yeah.
They're the Vatican.
Yeah.
And so the people around them are super poor, and they're all living high.
And they hide in this like impenetrable forest of rainforest and whatever.
Yeah.
Except it's just a force field. Spoilers. But it just that combination of having to deal with the outside world and sheltering yourself away from the outside world, and then having, because you're set in these old school traditions, and all of the council except for T'Challa's buddy, who is Wakabi, who's played by Daniel Kaluuya. He's the youngest one on the council until T'Challa becomes king.
Yeah.
Everyone else is old, and so they're all set in these ways. We can't go deal with the outside world. Even T'Challa at the beginning is like, my father didn't want to share our technology or our information or anything like that. And that's actually becomes a big deal at the end in one of the post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of cool. The other thing that I really liked was that the fact that T'Challa is he's Black Panther, right? He's a freaking superhero. He's got all these powers and this vibranium suit, and he runs around in a freaking cat outfit. But
Panther.
Oh, sorry, Panther. But when he shows up back home, his head of security is kind of like ribbing him like an old buddy.
Yeah.
And his sister comes up and kind of gives him a hard time because she's the it gave it a level of emotion, and you realize that this is just a regular person.
Yeah.
He has regular everyday fun with his buddies, and his sister loves him but still is not afraid to rib him, and so there's humor there within each other, but then that connection you have with him through his friends and his family, they use later to bring out the emotions in the movie, and I thought that was just really well done too. So Michael B. Jordan was amazing as Killmonger. He should have been in the movie probably about another 5 hours or so. He is I'm not gonna say the best villain we've had ever as a Marvel, but he is. You understand his motivations. His motivations make complete sense. He looks amazing. Like even his outfit when they're going to steal this axe. That's made out of vibranium, and his outfit then is kind of a 90s hip hop kind of the big round glasses, a denim jacket, and the floppy hair and stuff. But he looks the part of a bad guy, but yet you feel for him. You understand.
You feel for him, but I hated him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're a dick.
His scene that he has a scene with his father, and it's just so powerful what he does in that scene. And he doesn't have a whole lot of lines in that scene.
Yeah.
It's just him emoting his emotions with his father, and it's just so well done. He is quickly becoming one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
Because he can kind of do that, he can be silly and fun, and then he could also be very dramatic and everything, and then he could be a badass bad guy. Chadwick Boseman has got that character down on lock.
Yep.
And then everyone else is just super awesome in it, including Martin Freeman.
Yeah, Martin Freeman was awesome. I'm still not 100% behind his sudden switch from being an asshole to being a good guy. But and then Andy Serkis, I was shocked that they killed him
as Claw. Yeah, so they Killmonger uses the death of Claw to
get in
to Wakanda, and it just Andy Serkis was so cool in that role that you're like, they kill him and you're like,
I was like, wait, what?
Wait, what? I wanted to see more of him. And so Andy Serkis is a great actor who has gotten the short end of the stick so many freaking times.
Yep.
It just, can we get him some freaking recognition? Like, make him a lead in something.
Yeah, because they're not going to give it to him for his
mocap
stuff.
Yeah. Is there anything else that within the movie that you wanted to talk about?
Not specifically. It was an awesome movie.
It's a great MCU movie, but it's also a great standalone. You don't have to know anything inside the MCU. You understand everything.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I wanted to talk about was the social commentary. There is social commentary going on in this movie. It's not thrown in your face. You're not getting slapped with it, but it is a reoccurring theme throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And it's also part of the discussion that you have between Wakanda having the ability to do more in the outside world, whether that be give aid or give weapons so people could rise up, and that's kind of what Killmonger's motivation is to help black people around the world who have been gotten the raw end of the deal pretty much their entire existence, and helping them rise up and become the new power in the world, and so it's a continuing thing, but it's not this, hey, we've been screwed. They talk about it, but it's handled so well.
Yeah.
And that's Ryan Coogler. And is Ryan Coogler? I can't remember his name right now. Where is the name? Ryan Coogler. He did Creed, and he's done some other things, and he's had this social commentary stuff in his movie before. And again, it's not a throw it in your face, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's probably part. I mean, I'm not super familiar with the comic, but from what I understand, it's part of the comic too.
Yeah.
And we talked about it in our non-spoiler, but I just thought it was cool that there were a lot of black people at this showing. It was you said what, like about a third of the audience?
About a third of the audience,
which is a pretty big deal because we live in Arizona and there's not a huge black community, or it's not a majority. The Hispanic community is much more a majority here, so that amount of black people at a comic book movie was amazing. And then there was a bunch of them in their African type outfits,
African prints and
shirts and dresses and stuff.
There was a couple. It was actually several older black women who were there. Who were very very much into the movie,
and applause at the end of the whole theater. And applauding.
There was a couple times when things would happen and you could hear it's a stereotype, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go with it. But something would happen on the screen. You hear some of the black people, that's right!
Yeah, they did.
That's totally funny. It was totally worth it, too, because I'm just I'm giggling the whole time. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we're supposed to say there. But it was it was cool to see and actually the whole screening was very diverse. I'm very interested to see what it's like on Friday when we go see it.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
paid. But the whole. I mean, we had, um, we had like I said, about a third of the theater was African American, black people.
We had some like fathers and their sons, and
there was
younger people.
There was a group of Latino people who came in and was all excited, and they had their freaking Marvel stuff on.
Yeah.
They're all excited, and then you had the pasty white folk in there too, and it was just a really cool, diverse. And then after the movie, a lot of us, because they took our phones, so we had a security guard standing next to us the whole time.
Yeah.
But they took our phones, so we couldn't record anything. So we're all standing in line waiting to get our phones, and we were all talking about how cool the movie was. And it was just this really cool melting pot of everybody kind of talking about the movie, and it was refreshing. So, what was your overall score?
Well, so we've already given it a score, but my score was 4.5.
Mine was also 4.5. A great standalone movie, great MCU movie. Great, not or has to be necessarily a comic book movie. It has comic book movie stuff going on.
Well, and I think, if you think about it, you've got a lot of people who've never probably really seen or aren't, maybe seen a couple Marvel movies.
Right.
So they had to have that in the back of their mind that if this was going to be, the black experience, that
right.
you're going to have a bunch of people that probably haven't seen a lot of those.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And so they explain enough to tell you what's going on, but if you're deep in the lore of MCU movies, you don't understand what's going on. They explain, they throw stuff in there, references and stuff. If you're deep in the lore of the Black Panther comic, there's also stuff that's thrown in there too. So that helps you. The super deep Uber fanboys get their stuff, and the people who've never seen anything before get that too.
Yep.
There's 2 post-credit scenes.
Yep.
There's one. It's like after the main the main actors one. There's one there. That scene's awesome. Somebody's gonna get the fuck punched out of them. And then there's one at the end. I'm not gonna talk about it, but I have 1,001 questions because it's not really connected to anything else.
No, it is.
It's not really.
Yeah, it is.
Really.
He's in the commercial. He's in the trailer.
Anyways, so that's our thoughts on Black Panther. Please tell us what you thought of the movie and share this video with all of your friends after they've seen it.
Right.
After they've seen it.
Don't spoil it.
Please leave us comments about your thoughts on Black Panther and everything else that we're doing. You can please like this video too. And when you're here, subscribe. We're doing all kinds of fun stuff and trailer reactions and all kinds of movie reviews and that kind of stuff. You can get a hold of us too at Facebook at the Pop Culture Cult or PopCultureCult 1 on Instagram, and we're at Pop_Cult 1 on Twitter. We're also on the Stardust app. We've been doing a bunch of stuff on Stardust lately, so please download it for free and follow us first. Until the next time, good night now.